I'm a big fan. We had the National Homeowner Conference in Cincinnati 2 years ago, and one of the pre-conference deals was we took a bus trip and we went down into Kentucky and we went through Woodford Reserve, got the tour, the whole, the whole 9 yards. We only made the 2. We made yours and Bourbon Trace and or Buffalo Trace. But it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed bourbon. Too much.
Honestly, in a, the way I said it, I was half joking that it is research, but there are distinct differences between, you think of bourbon's a bourbon, and it's really not. Chris will tell you the only other one, there's 270 bourbons that are made, and the only 2 facilities that make their own on site are Maker's Mark and Maker's Mark and Woodford Reserve. The other ones, so like where Knob Creek's made and the Heaven Hill distillery, they have 20, 40 different bourbons, and they're doing blends and all sorts of stuff. So the one that's the most similar is probably Maker's Mark, but if you put the 2 of them together, there's some very distinct differences. And that starts with, the water that Woodford uses is only there on property. The corn is only one farmer. The barrels are out of the cooperage, they're only ground formula. So, it's the same thing as a recipe. Our food recipe, it's just you just don't slap a steak on a grill. You use your seasoning, you marinate, and this stuff. And that's distinct to how you do it and how long you do it and all that stuff. So there's specific things that are very different. So, and so that's why I say, to take some of it and drink it straight and mix it a little and to throw some ice in there and get that, and you get the essence of what it's about. And that, I think, will then be the time and effort and how you go about your blend. So I think the idea for stay is I think it would be something unique, but it would be still incorporating the barrel of Woodford. For all I care, you can chop the thing up. And in fact, that's what I would tell you. I mean, if you want to use it that way and chop it up however you want to, I mean, from this point forward, your barrel is your barrel. You can do whatever you want with it.
It's got a chainsaw.
Well, I tell you all the time.
That's my exam.
Yeah, and that's what I say all the time. We get these barrels, people cut them up, they pull our pots out of them, and you get rainwater in them, and they'll tell you that some parts of Kentucky, these people will take it and they'll make their own bourbon out of rainwater. How about that? Yeah, I'll tell you what, you get in the
pretty good bourbon.
I've heard you set them in the sun in the summer, and after they get rain, get some.
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine a whole lot, but you might be able to cut it with something else or use it as a base.
Sell to college students.
I mean, we at Brown Foreman would tell you to do it responsibly and drink our own. Who knows? In due time, we might be doing that. So that's all I have. Any other questions? And so you can help yourself to some of the notes and some of a bottle for each group. And I know I think I pulled 15 bottles, but you say there's 13, so there's a couple extras. So
we'll figure that out.
And I would say Dave Holt did an excellent job when he was down at Ram Brewery of using. He did it actually with Jack Daniel's barrels, and then the guy that's down there now, I can blank on his name, did it with Woodford barrels here. They did do a very good job of how to incorporate the barrels. So I know he's not here, but I would bend his ear to get that information about how to do it. I would be able to say the first thing.
He wasn't here when we came in anyway. I don't know why. Once we see him, we'll reschedule this hopefully Q2 or something like that.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. I would say definitely get his input because he knows there was some.
Yeah.
I know the notes you
He's
said.
the barrel. He's the barrel man of Indiana.
He incorporated these exactly, and he did a very good job with it. In fact, he won for the Jack Daniel's barrels he used. He won a double gold medal out in. So he knows how to incorporate these correctly. So that's it. Any questions? I've got a family commitment, so I've got to go.
We thank you very much for the opportunity, and again, publicly.
Where?
This has been great. I talked, just talked a thought, and back to me. Chris was back, just amazing.
Yeah, it actually came from you talking to Chris at the event we did down at Ram Brewery. Chris was all about it.
And in 4 days, he's back with me and going, let's do it.
Yeah. So, and I think I would love to have him up here for, on that Saturday, which is tough in the middle of summer with how busy the distillery is, not necessarily the production, but tours and you know, this is the official
Yeah.
permit of the Kentucky Derby, and so this field is filled during late
Yeah.
April and May, and so to get him up here would be great, and I know he's interested in the process, and he's always terribly accommodated in Indiana. I feel guilty that I'm always using him, but we have 22% growth to date. Want to get the numbers, you know?
Yes.
Where Jack Daniels is negative 4% here in the state of Indiana, so, you know, everybody talks economy, and how tough it is, but, you know, brands like this, when they're growing at a 22% growth rate, and, you know, yeah, I mean, people will pay for quality, and that's what I keep telling our people that are distributors, that they'll pay for it, but it's gotta be quality. Same thing when you go to a restaurant, you go to Chris, but you also wanna have a experience, you don't wanna be on a bad experience with what you're gonna pay for it, but, so that speaks well for it. So, very good.
So where are the barrels that we're taking?
There's 3 here, and there's 8 on exhibit out there. At the end of the show, grab. If you leave them before the end of the show, grab one of these.
Yeah, we've already parked.
Somebody, yeah, well, drive around, park, etc.
Yeah, they're not the lightest things either.
Like 125 pounds. I
Yeah,
believe.
you got,
If anybody has room for an extra and is going through Lafayette, they like, they.
If I can get an extra in,
Like, okay,
Yeah.
it's in a
I've got a
car.
station wagon, I know I can get one.
Hey, we got rope.
I can be an extra.
Yeah.
So I can take it.
You look pretty bad by the time we drag it all the way there.
Right there's a
If Greg can take them back, and he doesn't know whether he's gonna have spare room, if he does not have spare room,
some,
or if that drags out that thing, okay, there we go.
And I can pick it up there.
Or they can come back, we, you know, come back.
Thank you, sir.